a lovely day today. Like, it's lovely. I wanted to show you something really quick. Every time I walk up to the shop now, hi Rosie, I'm rolling up like, who dis? Like, I could sit there. I could see myself sitting there and enjoying some knitting or coffee. This is going to be a project for another day. Hi Rosie, you escorting me? Because I can't get into my greenhouse, which is unfortunate, which also needs to be decluttered. Just a complete revamp. But for right now, we are going to go into the shop. I'm really not enjoying my storytelling, so I'm trying to come up with some better ideas for my storytelling. But today I have a short amount of time. My daughter has agreed to let me have 45 minutes so I can feel productive, because I felt very unproductive this weekend. I spoiled myself on Saturday. I did not know I was going to be going grocery shopping on Saturday until my husband looked at me at 9 o'clock and said, "Are you going grocery shopping?" And I'm one of those people that are like, I like to know like 2 or 3 days before so I can start making my list or start getting an idea, wrapping my head around, so I can do the whole week's worth, maybe a week and a half worth of grocery shopping, so that I don't have to go all the time and I don't forget anything, which is hard because I like to cook from scratch. And I like to go at like 7 o'clock in the morning when people aren't awake yet and they're not out, so I'm not expected to talk or people. So I think I need to remember to take this camera to Walgreens and get, not sponsored, and get the film developed. They're about the last place I know to get film developed. Okay, so here's a box of stuff decluttered from the last ones. You know, I'm just gonna, I had ideas that, I'll put these on eBay or something, make a few bucks, but not really. I don't think I'm gonna do that. See, this is where I get off track. I need to make a no spending, definitely, because I'm experimenting with things, which causes me to need to buy things, and I don't want to buy more things right now. But the sock class that I'm in, when it was sold to me, it was supposed to be just heels. We were learning a new heel a month. That's enough to focus on. But now it's turned into actually learning all different types of skills with 12 different socks. And unfortunately, it means needing to buy twice as many needles as I have or would need normally. And experimenting with things because you can't get a straight answer from people. Do you have this? Do you feel this way? I know I feel this way very much, very often. I noticed it in my 20s, like my late 20s when I was a new mom. For me, when I ask you your opinion on something, I want your opinion. Like, I want your honest to goodness opinion on something. And you don't need to be mean about it, but I want you to share. If you don't like the way something is, I want you to share with me about that. And maybe people aren't comfortable doing that. I don't know. But when I have someone ask me advice, my opinion, my first answer isn't, "Oh, it's great. It's so great. You should do it. It's great." And I know most people are like me. They've got their own thing that's causing them to barely be hanging on by a thread. I get it. But everything can't be great. And alternatively, everything can't be crap, right? I mean, if you leave it there, there is no discourse. You learn nothing. You learn absolutely nothing. So all that rant on my soapbox to say, I wish I could ask someone. I have one person who shares this kind of knowledge with me in a way that I can like comprehend, and right, whether what they say is something that I can do or afford or agree with or don't, it doesn't matter. I'm thankful and grateful for that. Well, that's the same thing, right? I'm grateful for them to share those things with me, because then not only do I get to know them better, but I also, it like I value our friendship a little bit more, because that's somebody who wants to discuss and share, and right. And then I also understand a little bit more about what they're recommending, So I've asked several people in my class and the store owner and a few of my knitting friends, what's like when you're having to knit a certain way that we're going to be knitting in February, you have these loops from the needles. The needles are both attached with a cable, and you have these loops that will stick out, that will not have anything on them. And my only experience is doing that with a needle that was moderately priced and made these huge inflexible loops, and it was uncomfortable, and it was money I spent that I ended up saying, I don't want to knit socks. And so I still have these cables, and I still have the socks that I started on them, and that was like 15 years ago. So I want, if I'm gonna have to invest in 2 pairs of circular needles, is what the needles attached to cables are called. If I'm gonna have to invest in 2 of those, then I dang well want those things to be something I'm going to keep and use. And because they're not cheap. And nothing's cheap these days. They're not cheap. They're like $10 a piece, $15 a piece. It's not like I knit socks for my business or, knit 12 socks in a year all the time. I knit socks occasionally. This year is the huge experiment, biggest commitment to knitting of my life. And so I want to find something that's going to work, that I don't feel like I'm wasting money. So now I have, since I have that's the big conundrum, was most of what I got, as opposed to somebody saying, you know what I like about this brand, or you know what I didn't like about this brand. And I can understand if the store owner doesn't want to do that. But the knitters, they should be able to tell us or share, and so I just so now I'm having to buy 2 different needles from 2 different brands, so 4 needles, and on top of that I have to buy yarn. And I knew that I was getting in for the yarn. I didn't know I was getting in for all of the tools, because I've got the tools to do it a certain way that I do all the time, but I don't have these other circular needles. And everybody keeps saying it's an investment, it's an investment. Well, if I end up never using them again, it's not an investment for me. So it's just very frustrating. I just get so frustrated. And then that's how this stuff starts. So I really am looking forward to like a no spend or a minimal spend February for myself. Because not only is it the right thing to do, but I want to focus less on looking at all of these things that I need to buy for my class, and focus more on what I need to get rid of in this house so that I can live comfortably, because we need space and need to live comfortably. I don't need Amazon coming to my house right now. So all that to say, I really hate my storytelling. In here were boxes up to here. And then up here were, maybe 4 or 5 boxes, mostly arts and crafts. And so I'm almost there. Those white boxes there are toys that need to go over here in the corner where all the toys are. I'll be done here under the window, and I can start working on that side. So that will be exciting. That will be very exciting. I'm in my shop and I'm singing. Okay, today, what do we have here? What do we have here? Ooh, things that I love. Unfortunately, maybe things that, that's how it went. Things that I love. It's a test tube, because that was part of my job and my interests, with a rusty star. And so it's a flower holder. And I love that. It's easy to dust. I'm afraid the test tube is going to get broken with my son. Let me put that in a we shall see. That's one box I have not made yet, is a we shall see. But I'm thinking something like this. I'm not trying to find a use for it, but what I did at my old house was, like, I went out and saw a pretty flower, I'd snip it and put it in this, and either put it on the table or put it near the kitchen sink somewhere, or for herbs, like if I needed to get a few herbs from the garden, not like handfuls that you buy at the store. Like if I needed a couple of sprigs of something for dinner, then I would snip them and put them in here. So let me think about this. I want to get rid of it, but I really do like it. So let me put it up here with my jelly beans. I need to get a box. Maybe that's something I'm going to need to do inside. I need to get a box. I know we have an Amazon box, a small one, that I can make a box for. We shall see if I need it or not. Okay, what's in here? Garbage. Hummingbird food. Lord knows how old that is, so I'm not going to use that for hummers because they're very super sensitive. So that will be trash. Let me get my bag. Oh, Lord. Okay. So, I don't know who it was. My mom had a friend, though, that had, these are adorable, but when I was a teenager, no, I think when I was a young adult, I had the time and bandwidth for using them, but I do not now. No idea. They are little Disney characters. Like, this is Daisy. My favorite is Tinkerbell. She's so cute. She is adorable. Jiminy Cricket. Thumper. My personal faves. They're amazing. So I used to live in Arizona, southern Arizona, when I was growing up. Super into rocks because of the mines and the things around. So I went down to Bisbee one day and bought myself some bismuth. Again, that's one of those things that's a personal item. And I know I have a box of personal items around here somewhere. I think I said I was going to make my box of personal items this box here, because it was from my pharmacy days. So I will deal with the bismuth decision another day. I respectfully defer that. Candle, beeswax probably, but don't burn those. My newfound, I should probably not put matches in the windowsill, eh? I can put them up here. Okay, and then when the candle's done, I'll burn it out or snuff it out okay, what is in here? Ooh, wedding cake server and cake slicer. And it's engraved, so I think it's a keeper. I've never seen anything that was not antique so this will go with my husband's. I'll just take all of this in because this needs to go in our game room. My husband's chess set, I think. Yep. Hubby's chess set. He'll be happy to see that. Alright, you know what? That's his chess set. It's not mine. It's his chess set. Okay. Put these with Grandma's silverware. I will take those in. Okay. And I will take those in. Okay, what is this? Oh, one of hubby's candlesticks. I should ask him about that. We should ask him about his candlestick because I think he really liked his candlesticks. The other one's in the house, I believe. So I will take that in with me as well. Could this be a we shall see box? I think it's too big for a we shall see box. It's not too big for a donation box though. That's for sure. Okay, so that donation box is full. So I'm going to start a new one